Hooty, hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. What do we got going on in the markets? Well, we're going to try to push it to a new record high, right? You're going to push this up higher and higher. Now, this isn't ready to come down yet. You got to look at the bond market. In particular, look at the junk bond market, which is called the HYG. You can look at a chart of that and it's just straight up, straight up, straight up. It's not coming down yet. Now, when that starts to come down, that's the time to get worried. That's the time to take your money out of the stock market, but it's not time yet. They're still pushing liquidity into the marketplace. Yes, a little pullback is perfectly normal here, but they're going to push this up higher, up to a new record high. They're going to keep pushing it. As long as the bond market keeps going higher and higher, you can tell that they're flooding liquidity into the system, which has to go somewhere. Going to go into the stock market, probably going to go into the Bitcoin market. Those are the relief valve for when they push the liquidity into the market. So yes, I think the stock market is still going higher, going to make that new record high, going to keep pushing it higher. All right, today I want to talk about these Bitcoin companies first. Bitcoin companies seem to be this new thing, right? They're following in the footsteps of Michael Saylor. MicroStrategies, his company, has been very successful by buying Bitcoins, bought $50 billion worth of it, and he borrows $1 billion every couple of weeks to buy more Bitcoin, right? But the new company just came out with the announcement, Trump Media, symbol DJT, Donald J. Trump, right? DJT, Trump Media is now going to become the largest Bitcoin treasury. They just made the announcement. Now, how are they going to do it? They're going to borrow money. They're raising $2.5 billion to start with. So they're going to take $2.5 billion and they're going to funnel it into the Bitcoin market. Just like GameStop. GameStop funneled into the Bitcoin market, right? Bought like 4,500 Bitcoin, $500 million worth, right? Now, as soon as companies announce that they're going to become a Bitcoin treasury, meaning take all their cash, borrow as much as they can with that cash, and put it all into Bitcoin, what happens? Well, their stock goes down between 10 and 20%. Why? Because they don't believe in their company. If they believed in their company, they would be buying back their own stock. But they're going with the Michael Saylor game plan, right? Michael Saylor teaches them how to do this. Apparently, they can't figure out how to do it themselves. So Michael Saylor goes from company to company, went to Microsoft. Microsoft goes, we're not idiots. We're not doing that. So they kicked Michael Saylor out, right? But he goes to some of these companies. Imagine he's managed to get 100 of these companies to take all their cash, borrow as much as they can, and plow it into Bitcoin. Now, Michael Saylor, he's got a system. He's got a system how to 1,000x your money, how to 1,000x it. And I got to give him some credit here. His advice is not all bad. You see, his advice, buy Bitcoin, but don't buy it with your own money. No, 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 no. Buy it with the other people's money, right? Start a corporation, if you will, and borrow the money with the corporation. Protect your assets. As far as I know, Michael Saylor's got all his personal money in gold and silver, right? I mean, he's got his business money, his MicroStrategies. That's all filing into Bitcoin. That's not his money, right? He's protected when that crashes down. But his advice is to take other people's money, not your own money. Do not do this with your own money. Put it all into Bitcoin. Borrow as much as you can. Make sure you're a corporation, though, because corporations, they have protection, right? When they get sued by all their shareholders, they can't come out after Michael Saylor, right? He's over here. His corporation's over here. They can wipe out his corporation, right? Which, I mean, he doesn't care about that. He's got billions of his own, probably plowing it in to gold market as we talk. I mean, it's funny. But so his advice, take other people's money, borrow as much as you can, set up a corporation, make sure you're incorporated so your personal assets are protected, and just plow it into Bitcoin, and you're going to get 1,000x on your money. Now, what is 1,000x on your money? Well, let's say Bitcoin, let's just use rough numbers, 100,000 right now for one Bitcoin, right? So 1,000x It's going to take that, if I'm not mistaken. What is that? 100 million. $100 million. Maybe it's a billion. No, it's 100 million. 100 million. I'm good at math. All right. So 1,000x, it's going to be $100 million per Bitcoin. And when you ask them, is that possible? Well, of course it's possible. It's already done it, right? It went from $100 a Bitcoin. Bitcoin used to be $100. Actually, it used to be a nickel, right? I mean, they created all these trillions of dollars out of thin air. What do they call that? Fugazi. It's Fugazi. What movie is that from? I know the movie. You guys put it in the comments. So they created Fugazi, right? Went from zero to trillions of dollars. But anyways, Bitcoin already did 1,000x when it went from $100 to $100,000, right? It's 1,000x, already done it. So he's got proof it can do it again, right? Well, let me think about this. Now I'm a real estate broker, and in my area, the houses I sell, when they were originally built, they sold for $15,000. $15,000. You had $15,000, you could go get one of these houses. You put 5% down, get a loan, and you could pay that off. And it was like 2.8% loans back then, right? So $15,000, and you buy the house. What are those selling for today? Well, let me think. That $15,000 tract home, they're about 1,200 square feet, and they're tract homes. $15,000 when they built it. Today they're selling for $3 million. $3 million. Huh? How much is that? Went up 200 times. 200 times, $3 million today. So according to Michael Saylor, of course, this could happen again. So that $3 million house, well, 200 times 3 million, that'd be $600 million. $600 million. So I could go out and tell my clients, you better, every house you don't buy today, you're going to lose out on $600 million because that's what they're going to go to. Now, if I did that, do you think any lawsuits would come my way? I think a lot of lawsuits would come my way. You know what I do now instead? When I sell that $3 million house, I make them sign a piece of paper saying this house can drop below $1 million. I make them sign that, right? Because I don't want to get sued. Michael Saylor, he don't care. Just buy Bitcoin. I don't care if I get sued because I got my corporation. That's where I'm going to lose all my personal wealth. That's protected. I'm going to be a billionaire the rest of my life. And I believe he will. He'll be a billionaire the rest of his life. Now, everybody in his corporation that's buying that stock, they're going to lose everything, right? I mean, he already did that in the dot-com bubble. If you look back on it, it was lost everything, right? And he got some lawsuits then. Even the government came after him. He had to settle a fraud thing, paid a big fine to get out of it. But now look at him. He's one of the richest men in the world. Wants to be the richest man in the world. And when Bitcoin hits $100 million, he will be the richest man in the world. But he goes around to the businesses, tells them, don't worry that your business is failing. Get rid of your business, sell whatever you can. Take that money and put it into Bitcoin. You'll be a Bitcoin trust now. I don't know why people would buy these stocks just because they're a Bitcoin trust. Do you realize they're Bitcoin ETFs? You can just go buy a Bitcoin ETF. Why do you need every corporation to be in Bitcoin? Well, Michael Saylor needs it, right? He needs it to pump this chain letter. See, it's a legal chain letter. That's what Bitcoin is. It's like in the old days we had chain letters, send one out, send $5 to the people, and then they send them out, and they send them out, and everybody sends in the money, and they ran out of people, right? And they figured out that this was just a big Ponzi scheme. Well, that's what Bitcoin is today. It's a legalized chain letter, if you will. But don't worry, it's headed up by the President of the United States. He's the head guy. Him and his family are big in the crypto field, right? I mean, they got the Trump coin, the Melania coin. I mean, they're fleecing the economy. I heard a rumor now that Donald, he's coming out with a new coin. It's going to be called the Taco coin. Donald's going to put out the Taco coin. Really? I don't know if that's true or not. I just heard a rumor, but the Taco coin's coming out. Maybe he can fleece more money out of the public. You see, this is how you get SEC approval on this stuff. When you get the president behind you, the chain letter becomes legal. The Ponzi becomes legal, and we can perpetuate this on and on and on and on and on. Now, be careful if you're in the crypto business. been a lot of crypto robberies, right? Crypto kidnappings. These are a real thing. If they think you got a lot of crypto, they kidnap you and torture you for your keyword because they know you got that keyword. It's memorized, right? So anyways, this Connecticut couple, they got 240 million worth of crypto from them. But you see, here's the thing. You guys were all at that Bitcoin conference, 35,000 of you. They got your information, right? Be careful. There's Bitcoin kidnappings. Bitcoin criminals are out there. Stole $16 billion worth of Bitcoin. Just last year, $16 billion. 860,000 complaints about Bitcoin criminals. See, this Bitcoin might not be as safe as everybody thinks it is. Maybe it is. I don't know, right? I don't know. But okay, so anyway, be careful. That's all I'm saying. You're at that Bitcoin conference. They do have your information. You just got to be careful. A lot of Bitcoin kidnappings, a lot of Bitcoin crime right now. All right, so let's go on and talk about what has this done. Okay, let's talk about what Bitcoin's done just in the last 4 years, let's say, just in the last 4 years, right? Okay, they got all these ETFs out there, 10, 12, 14 exchange traded funds, right? I mean, gold's got like 3 exchange traded funds. They got like 14 of them. Wow, they passed gold up just like that, and they're bragging about that. Oh, very successful. All right, all right. And you got Trump in there now. He's the Bitcoin president, right? So you got that going for Bitcoin, right? I mean, he was going to do the Bitcoin reserve, but he wanted to get his coins in the reserve also. So it's called the crypto reserve instead of the Bitcoin reserve. Upset a lot of the Bitcoiners, but still very positive for Bitcoin, right? I mean, Michael Saylor got over 100 corporations to take all their money, all of it, borrow even more money, as much as they can, and buy Bitcoin with it. That's very good for Bitcoin, right? I mean, okay, CNBC, just turn on the channel and watch them pump Bitcoin all day long, all day long, all day long. Look at the Bitcoin commercials. I mean, it's incredible, right? I mean, just, all right, Michael Saylor by himself, right? $50 billion of Bitcoin he's bought. $50 billion. So in the last 4 years, man, how well has Bitcoin done? Well, it's only down 10% compared to gold. And it's got all that hype. Nobody hypes gold. They tell you don't buy gold. Don't buy it. Whatever you do, don't buy gold. But in the last 4 years, Bitcoin's down 10% compared to gold. All that hype. What's going to happen when it falls apart? It could get really ugly. Don't get me wrong. I love Bitcoin, right? I mean, I'm a Bitcoin gambler. It's the thing I trade the most. I think it's going to go up a little bit more from here. I think we're probably going to push it to the 113, 115. Then we'll get a little pullback, but maybe we get it up to 150,000, right? Maybe we can push it up to 200,000, make these Bitcoiners, man, that'll make their heads spin around. It'll be cool. But I love gambling. I love Bitcoin. It's just funny to me, right? I mean, it's incredible what they've done in 4 years, and they're only down 10% compared to gold. That's why I keep my real wealth in gold, right? I mean, keep my real money. That's real money, right? It's not a fiat system like the Bitcoin, like the dollar. I mean, you got the Bitcoin back in the dollar now through stable coins. I mean, the whole system, it's wild right now. It's like the wild, wild west. I'm not saying it can't go higher. Don't give me all the hate. I'm just saying that my real wealth is in real money, right? Gold, silver, right? My fake gambling money, I'm out there with you in that Bitcoin market. I want that sucker to fly, right? Let's get that up to 115, right? Now look at, I know Michael Saylor, he pushes this. I make fun of him, but I do believe that Bitcoin is worth its weight in gold. I'm right with Michael Saylor on that, man. Bitcoin is worth its weight in gold. I believe it can go up higher from here, right? This Fugazi, they can create more of it. They can make it go higher. They can make it do magic tricks. They can make it spin around. 2 thumbs up. Anyways, if you like this stuff, I just got a little carried away. Having a little bit of fun today with all you Bitcoiners out there. Punch that subscribe button, everybody. Get out there. Have a great day, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.